Well, Professor Ransford Gyampo is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana, Legon, and also written extensively about governance and democracy in Ghana and beyond. Professor Ransford Gyampo, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Allow me to make some preliminary remarks. Martin has done it. It's only Paragraph who doesn't have preliminary remarks.
I do. I mean, I wanted to just respond.
I mean, he's been listening to what
today has to forgive you.
He's been listening
family and friends.
It's your uncle not to Samuel Okude Blackwa. So
family and friends.
I'm sure he will have some responses to what the Okude Blackwa said. Yes.
No, but I think I said I've stopped criticizing Akufo-Addo, so it's okay. Let us go into the programs of today. Because if I want, what I have in mind, if I say it, I'll be blasting him, and then I'll be going contrary to my own decision that he's a goner, and so let's focus on the campaign of John Mahama, Bawumia, Alan Cheddar, and co. So it's good to be here.
Prof, are you saying you have look, we have to hold him accountable. The money, all the money is looted. You think it's going to go
he shouldn't be meant to get away with it. One of the calls that Samuel Okude is making today is about this $58 million that has been spent on this cathedral.
Yes.
And illegality. As Shraj says, the contract was illegal, void, ab initio, right from the beginning. It shouldn't have even happened. Apart from the $58 million, some compensation that has been paid to institutions that had buildings on that cathedral site. Sharjah has recommended that the Board of Trustees members should be possibly prosecuted for this. Blackwa says that should be on the head of the president.
Yeah,
you agree with that?
But I was the first to say that his ex gratia and his entitlement should be used to defray some of the costs. I said that. I mean, if we started criticizing this national cathedral thing, I've forgotten the video I did. When I went to University of Bristol as a visiting professor there, a colleague took me to inspect certain infrastructure that I was so amazed, and that was when I first did that video, 2017 or 2018. And that when people are brainstorming or thinking about doing some of these huge infrastructure, we were thinking about building National Cathedral for God. And that was when I said that God himself will question our judgment. Yeah. Okay, so as for me, I think this particular President Akufo-Addo, he has dissipated all the goodwill that we had in him. And what worries me is that even when he knows he's going, he's not willing to leave any legacy. He's doing things like a typical African politician, and he doesn't care. And I ask myself, oh, well, I think we made a mistake. And next time, and that's why I said I'm focusing more on the campaign, because Akufo-Addo deceived all Ghanaians, okay, into thinking that he was something that he clearly isn't. I thought that even in the twilight of his administration, he was going to be doing things. Look, I'm going to end Galamsey. I'm going to, because you are not coming back again. Yeah. But look at him, going about commissioning projects that are not even fully completed. And these, sometimes you see, not all of us are fools. Now, even the voters, you see, even the voters are aware that all these things are vote-getting, vote-buying tendencies. We are here. We know what happened when J. Kufuor, in the lead-up to the second round of the 2008 election, we know what he did. Quickly, he went to reduce fuel prices. People said, but you knew that you could reduce fuel pricing, and then you didn't do, and then you're waiting. In the lead up to the 2016 elections, I know John Mahama also commissioned several projects. People were not happy about it. And I thought that statesmen like Akufo-Addo, matured statesmen like Akufo-Addo, who had all the goodwill, would have learned some of these things. You see, we would be very proud and happy if we knew that these projects were completed long ago. But now you say that, oh, but if the president, if these projects got completed 2 days to elections, why shouldn't they be inaugurated, or why shouldn't they be commissioned? I said, you see, you cannot continue to insult all of us. You see, the challenge is that, you see, Ghana's democracy and peace, okay, Ghana's democracy and peace would not be destroyed by those who do evil against our democracy and peace, but they will be destroyed by those of us who know what is right but refuse to speak. Okay, the refusal to take sides in the great battle for the preservation of our democracy and in a battle to ensure that there is good governance that brings about developmental outcome that can tangibly be reflected in the lives of the people is in itself a decision. So if you decide that you will not talk, it is also a decision. And in my view, it is a silent acquiescence to evil politics that benefits only the political elites, their family members, their friends, and their concubines. But why should we do that? You see, the tragedy of our politics at this time is that those who have the fire, those who have the competence, those who can help govern Ghana well, they don't have the fire, they don't have the conviction, they don't have the resources, and they don't have the opportunity to serve. But it is only those who are incompetent. Those who are incompetent, they have the resources, they have the fire, they have the audacity to always even want to lie their way through electoral competition just for the purposes of winning, votes. And it is worrying. And so I've always said that, look, sometimes we get a bit tired, but we will not keep quiet. So if peace means keeping my mouth shut, keeping my mouth shut in a country where things do not work well, if peace means keeping my mouth shut in a country where we manipulate institutions of state to pervert the cause of justice, where Okujeto Ablakwa is saying we sink $58 million in digging a big hole, where we spend $3 million to procure 200 drones to fight Galamsey, but only 3 of them are seen, where we spend $12 million for a dam in Pualugu that is not built, where we use 34 billion cedis to address a 6 billion city banking sector crisis, where excessive partisanship has made even the highly educated people politically mad, in a country where the constitution has made the president a political king kong, in a country where we hastily commission not too completed projects for the purposes of getting votes, in a country where we continue to scrap surfaces of roads to create impression that we are fixing them, knowing very well that we would not be able to complete them. Yeah. In a country where through politics we manipulate the poor to defend the political elites who are responsible for the poor's poverty, so that hardships, even though they are hardships, high cost of living and hunger, people are bribed with 10 cedis and 1 kilo of rice to shout on rooftops that all is well with them, when in actual fact they are poor and they are hungry. If bringing about peace is to keep my mouth shut when all these things are happening, then I don't want peace. I want what? Art.
Accountability. Thank you. Now,
as they've been saying, I don't want peace, I want problems. If keeping my mouth shut, if bringing about peace is to keep my mouth shut, in spite of all these things that we see, you see, the poor is made, you see, very, very, very wicked politics in our part of the world is to keep the poor and make them very much impoverished. Okay, make them poor, make them very much impoverished, keep them poor, and then wait. If there's going to be elections, okay, go and give them 10 cedis. Give them 1 kilo of rice. They will see you as their God, and then they will support you. But what is wrong with us as a people? You know you can, I mean, we have all traveled before. Is that how people went about governing their country to bring about development? You see, if somebody is very, very, very poor, listen, if you are very thirsty, if you are very thirsty, you've been thirsty for the whole day, you've been thirsty for the whole week, you've been thirsty for the whole month, and somebody gives you a drop of water on your tongue, you see the person as your God. And so, what fellow Ghanaians, let me tell you, this is what the politicians are doing to you. The agenda is to keep you very poor. Don't do anything for them in an 8-year election cycle. Don't do much for them. Let them be poor. And then during elections, they will come and give you 10 cedis. You are not worth 10 cedis.
Right.
You are not worth 1 kilo of rice. So if they bring 1 kilo of rice, because you are poor and because you are hungry, collect, take, but vote according to your conscience. Some of us, we do these things, we say these things, not for our own purpose. It's in your own interest that some of us also exist to demand accountability, to subject politicians to street proofs for the purposes of ensuring that they govern well for you, they govern in a manner whose outcome, will translate into developmental projects and developmental consequences that can tangibly be reflected in your lives, not the handouts.
Great.